Hey guys, Luna popping in. Thank you for visiting my channel. I appreciate you for being here. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe so that we may remain connected. Today we're going to have an unconventional conversation about pain. I'm having a high pain day today, and it's not easy. I'm not sure if it's lupus, Sjogren's, fibro, but I'm leaning more towards fibro because of where I hurt. My hands hurt so badly. My arms from my shoulders on down to my elbows, all the way down to my hands. My wrists are sore, my lower back, my knees, my hips, even my neck is stiff. I feel like I've been beaten, and it's just not a pleasant feeling. Those of us with chronic illnesses and chronic pain, autoimmune diseases, you never know what really triggers a flare. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you can just do too much. You can be stressed. You can eat the wrong things. You know those types of things, but sometimes it can be the weather. Weather changes, high humidity, high barometric pressure. I do know that the pressure has been high lately, and that definitely has an effect on my body and my pain levels. The pressure's been about 30. Um, I usually start feeling achy around 28, 28.5, and the change of the seasons always can trigger body aches for me. And we're definitely in a change of season now. And here in Flagstaff, during the day, it's about 77, but it goes down to 35 at night. So there's at least a 40-degree temperature change overnight, and that can exacerbate pain along with the high elevation that I'm at. I'm at 7550 feet elevation. So all of those things can be a factor to body aches and pains. You hear my Stellar J? And I'm hurting. I can barely move. I feel like I just feel like somebody's really kicked my ass. I haven't done anything to exacerbate my. I'm sorry. I'm having brain fog too, and that's another factor. When you have flares, you can have brain fog, lose your words, forget what you were talking about in the first place. And today is just an all around challenging day for me. Yesterday, I went for a walk with the dog, which is normal for me, but I went to a different location and the terrain was different and was more inclined. And the ground was super rocky, so I had to be careful with my footing. And I don't know if that was a contributing factor as well. But I'm hurting. It's not pretty, it's not glamorous. I try to be as transparent and honest about not only living with chronic illnesses and chronic pain and autoimmune diseases, but incorporating that with living this nomadic lifestyle, living the van life. All of these are factors. I can't stand all the way up straight in the van. So being crouched all the time has an effect on your body as well, on my body. And, climbing across the bed just to get into the bed. It can be challenging sometimes. I don't have the freedom to move around unencumbered. Everything is crowded and hunched and tight. I have to dig out things every single day. Things are on top of things that are on top of things. in order for me to cook, in order for me to wash, to clean myself. I have to boil the water, use my little collapsible sink, and you have to pull out everything, and I have to sit down to wash parts of my body and then stand up to get the special part, and you're hunched over and you're trying to do that. And sometimes that can take me almost an hour because it just drains my energy so much. Those of us in the chronic illness community, we have this standing joke about needing to rest after taking a shower. Can you imagine doing this in the van? Sometimes I can't even move for at least an hour. I'm sitting here just sometimes wrapped in a blanket, sometimes just with a shirt on because it is hard, guys. I won't pretend like it isn't hard. This lifestyle, living this nomad lifestyle is very challenging for those of us in the chronic illness community. By no means am I the only one out here, and I've learned that there are a lot of chronic illness patients living this lifestyle, mainly because we cannot afford to live in an apartment. We don't have enough income. We're on a very limited income. $1,300 a month. Social Security disability is what I get. Rent's over $2,000 almost everywhere. Then you have things like utilities and, I don't know, food you might want to have every now and again. So there's no way I can live independently right now unless you're on some sort of government program like Section 8 or what other housing programs are out here. I'm not familiar with a lot of them, um, only other than Section 8. And I have had a horrible experience with Section 8 when much younger, when my children were small, um, where they screwed up paperwork and insisted I was getting this money in child support, which I was never getting. And I was evicted because they kicked my rent up so high simply because of a clerical error. And I appealed it and I won the appeal, but I had already been evicted. So I don't trust a lot of these government programs. And I definitely don't trust Section 8 because they had me homeless before with children. So for those of you who may wonder why I haven't applied or a part of a program, and then the wait list is years long in some places, in most places. And then with all that's going on in the government, you don't know if they're going to close these programs down and you're going to end up in homeless anyway. So, and in addition to that, I enjoy this lifestyle. This is absolutely something that I wanted to do. I just expected better accommodations. And I'm sure that once I have better accommodations, a lot of the kinks will work out for me. So I hope I don't sound like I'm complaining about this lifestyle. I am complaining about my accommodations, though. I definitely love waking up in nature and seeing this beauty and being off grid. I like it. I'm sort of off grid. I still have my phone and all. But, living out in the forest, out in the desert, without all the hustle and bustle and just being in nature is beautiful to me. And it doesn't matter if I was in a home, I would still have these aches and pains. So I just want to make sure you guys know I don't attribute my body aches and pains to this lifestyle, but I do contribute it to part of it to my accommodations. I have chronic pain. That was before I was living in this van. This van didn't trigger it. This van didn't cause it. But this van doesn't help it. It would be really nice for me once I get a RV or a schoolie where I can put one of those portable hot tubs in it, and I can take an occasional bath and soak my body, soak my muscles, and get some relief. Some of you may suggest going to a gym. I'm skeeved out about hot tubs in a gym after watching a documentary where extremely obese people who can't clean themselves after they go to the bathroom, they said they go to the gym and they get in the hot tub and let the hot tub do the work of removing the particles. So, with autoimmune diseases, infection is what takes a lot of us out of here. So we have to be very, very careful of infections because our immune systems just don't work. So we're very easily susceptible to infection. So that's why we don't want to be around anybody who has a cold or you have diarrhea or anything like that can really harm us. It may be simple for you, but for us it can be quite significant and hospitalize us. So it's no hot tubs for me. There's no public spaces that I'm going to allow myself to be exposed to that might trigger a significant flare. But flares are going to happen with or without exposure because that's just the way these diseases work, unfortunately. And I just wanted to share with you guys that sometimes these days are really, really difficult for me. And this is one of those difficult days. Thank you for listening. Peace, love, and blessings, guys. Luna out.